Hello everybody, welcome to the Story Corner. Let me just pull up the next one. So we're on number 7. Here we go. Okay. Hope you're all well. Enjoying our lives that we've got. This is Loose Ends and Opportunities. All is not lost. In fact, I don't believe anything has been lost except a ton of money. To organise an event, let alone 4 events, requires fingers and a lot of pies. Deposits, advertising, and that comes in many different forms, including setting up the landing page and ticket sales. It is a gamble and one I learnt the hard way. For those of you who know me, my only way is the hard way. There is no other way to learn. Next time, I'll make sure it's the actual way, because nothing is ever easy. I don't expect anything laid out on a platter. However, a bit of fluidity would have been appreciated right at the end. Ticket sales. There will be a few tweaks, because what I learnt was that farmers don't feel 5-star enough. This is what I deduced from the past year, and there seems to be a language barrier too. A false start shifting into a new system. These are easily fixed and will be for the next time. It's too early to say when, but 2027 is a good year to aim for. So when I say all is not lost, I mean it. Wrapping up the loose ends has been emotional, but in a slightly different way than I expected, especially with messages like these. I've cancelled the trip for now. Good luck with the future. If you want to try something again, I would need to book by January 2027. I'll be happy to connect with you at some point in the future. Thanks for doing what you're doing. That was somebody coming from Canada, a speaker. Hey love, sorry to hear this, but there's absolutely no shame in making this call. It's a smart decision. Events are hard going. You did a wonderful job and your passion shines through. Now you can take it a bit easy on yourself. Dear Tamsin, it is really tough getting people to commit to anything at the moment. I think most of us feel the tightening of time paired with the lack of funds to resource our lives properly. All I can say is, hang in there and know you are in good company. I'm very sorry to hear that you won't be able to proceed with the March event. We were hoping to discuss whether there was anything we could do to help make the event workable for you, including the possibility of staggering further deposits if you believe that registrations may come late. That was from one of the resorts. I'm paraphrasing with a couple of these, but you get the gist. There has been absolutely no condemnation, and believe me when I say I was scared to make that decision to cancel. So where to from here? I'm still recovering from last year's massive effort and stress. The build-up of cortisol and adrenaline with a drive and determination of an ox pulling a full load pushed me so hard I knew the come down was going to be brutal. But I'm a survivor and I will keep the candle burning. Multi-species farming is the answer. Correcting our soil function to establish fully cycling carbon and water cycles is the key to recharging our water table levels. Groundwater is our legacy. Without this, farms will be null and void. As we all know, when one door slams shut, another one opens. Sometimes more than one opens, and then more decisions need to be made. There has been an interesting sequence of events. First of all, a job needs to be found to relinquish me from the grip of debt. Then a surprise invitation pops up in an email, and then an opportunity that has a knock-on effect is given to me, and then a door already open remains open and refreshed. If I had been solely focused on the conferences at this moment in time, I would have missed so much being strategically placed in front of me. Never underestimate the power of redirecting energy. Things happen for a reason, and although this really isn't the best way that I had intended, there may be a reason for this shift. You, my dear friends, have been incredibly supportive, and I wonder if you really understood my true resilience. I suppose some of you were expecting tears. To be honest, I was expecting tears too, but they never came. I have surprised myself by accepting my fate and going with the flow. The next 2 weeks will bring a flurry of answers, and I will be richer for knowing whatever destiny has in store for me. I will keep going with these Sunday morning Substacks, initially designed to showcase the build-up of a massive accomplishment in my life. The ups and downs. I wasn't expecting the down to be before the up, though. My focus going into the future is to redirect the direction we are looking. Don't look up. Bare ground is the issue, and this is something we can all address and correct. Let's focus on the water infiltrating the soil, not just to improve the crops it grows, but so the water has a chance of recharging the water table. At the moment, soil isn't absorbent, and the liquid currency flows off into the creeks along with our legacy. That's my mission now. Redirect conversation from our atmosphere to our ground. Soil, not dirt. Deep groundwater, not just soil infiltration. This starts today with you. Spread the word. Listen to the storytellers. Say hello to the magpies in your garden. This is not the end. It is just the beginning. Rerouted. I was trying my hardest to stay positive, and I really felt so negative. The fundamentals of this whole failure thing, you learn from failing. So you're not actually failing, it's just another way of learning. I have failed so much in my life that I just was thinking, what do I do now? How can I possibly turn this into a positive? And so once I'd cancelled those 2 weeks, there were things that were coming up, and so I was, like that email I received, it was to the Aspire conference in Sydney. So I was surrounded by, I didn't realise quite how political it was going to be, but it was good. I like politics. I think we should be able to talk about politics way more openly than anybody wants to. They have this, you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics. Why? It's the fundamental part of the way that we live. And they are so, sometimes they can be so polarizingly on the other ends of the spectrum, and then they crash, into existence. But that's the whole point. That's what life is not meant to be, this boring, mundane, flatlining, not even a curve, just it's not meant to be like that. It's meant to be up and down, but the trouble is so many people want to avoid the downs. So at this point I was down, and I was licking my wounds, actually, if I'm going to be completely honest. No sign of depression, no sign of any of that. Yeah, and I do talk about darkness in other essays that I write. But this was just reality, really hard. I slammed up into reality. And I was having a tantrum. It's just like, this is not fair. And I know life's not fair, but this is really not fair. So yeah, the ending. This is not the end. I was just telling myself, this is not the end, it's just the beginning. Although I thought before was the beginning, and before that was the beginning. You've just rerouted. You're just being put on, and just wait for whatever it is that's coming. Just wait for it. I'm not very good at waiting, because I like to push. I push and I'll go up to the boundaries and I'll step on the boundaries and I'll step over the boundaries and I'll get myself in trouble and then I fall over and then I have to pick myself back up again, and it's just this constant cycle, and it's just me. It's that Tamsin bubble. That's what life's all about, isn't it? If you sit there doing nothing, nothing happens. All right, belonging to Earth.